Hi everybody, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can install the Rostowmap in your DayZ community custom private server. A fascinating project that feels a little bit like Chernarus, but there's lots of interesting places to explore and interesting assets to look at. So as with all of these things, you start off by going to the Steam workshop, look for the DayZ part of the workshop, and you want to subscribe to Rostowmap. Now that's one word, Rostowmap. If you just search for Rostow and then space map, it doesn't come up. Again, I'll put a link to this in the description below the video. Now that will then download to your local version of DayZ, and then we need to find those files. So if you're not quite sure where they are, if you fire up the DayZ launcher and then just scroll around until you find the mod Rostowmap, and then click on the little arrow to the right of it, click on the three little dots, and where it says open folder in Windows Explorer, if you click on that, and it just warns you not to change anything in that file, obviously very important. We can go in and we can, it will fire up, take you to the right place on your hard drive, and you can see it there at Rostowmap. So let's go inside and let's have a look at what we've got. So we've got the add-ons, that's kind of the meat and potatoes of the mod that does all the work. We've got the key, so the key is the thing that we need to upload to our server so that, you know, there's a nice handshake between people on their clients on the local version of DayZ playing it and on the server, so they can make sure they're singing from the same hymn sheet. And then we've got the missions, and this is the other set of files we need to upload to our server. And this contains, if we go in, you know, you've got all those common XML files that you're familiar with, spawnable types, you know, types, events, all that sort of stuff, and the stuff that you will probably be going into and modding so you can adjust the loot table or the central loot economy for your particular version of Rostow that's running. Now once all that has downloaded to your local PC, you want to fire up your FTP clients. Now in this case I'm using FileZilla, and then what you need to do is in the left hand panel in FileZilla, you need to find the folder where your Steam workshop mods will be. And again, the way that you can do that is if you go back to the folder we opened up before with Rostowmap in, if you go to the top, there's a little thing you can do in File Explorer. If you left click in the address bar, it then gives you the address there, and you can right click, copy that, take that over to FileZilla, pop it into the address bar there, paste it in, and that will take us to the workshop, which you can see is there. Then what you want to do is you want to connect to your server. Make sure you're in the root directory. You kind of know because you'll have your other mods here. And then you just want to scroll down till you get to Rostowmap. And then you want to right click, upload that, and that will then start uploading to your server. As you can see, mine's already there. It's quite a big file, so, well, there's quite a lot of files that are quite big, so it'll take quite a long time. Next thing you want to do is you want to scroll down and find the keys folder on your server, which is there. And then within the Rostowmap add-on, find the keys folder there. So you've got this siteprevenge.by key. So you want to select that, right click, upload that, and that will then go into the keys folder. Next thing we want to do is we want to upload the missions folder to our server. So if you scroll down within your DayZ server, you'll see the missions folder, and you may just see DayZ offline.chernarus plus if it's a Chernarus server. You might see Enoch if it's a Livonia server. You might have Namalskon, as I've got here, or any other particular maps you might want to put on. So what we want to do is we just want to click on MP missions on the right, and then we want to right click on offline.rostow, and we want to upload that. That will then upload the files to our local server. So we've kind of put the main body of the stuff that needs installing. So what we need to do now is go over to the web interface for our server and then make sure everything and make some adjustments here. So let's find it. These are all the servers I've got. So 1T scale speeder, that's the one I'm doing. So let's go into the web interface for this particular server. We're using Nitrado as an example. It might be a little bit different on your server provider. You may well be doing all this via FTP. In that case, you probably know what you're doing. But the first thing you want to do is go to the general settings on Nitrado, and you want to find the little thing that has the additional mod setting in it. It might be in different places. If you start your server with a batch file, say you're installing this map mod locally, this would go in the batch file. And some online server providers allow you to use the batch file as well. Nitrado don't. You have to put it in the additional mod section. So as you can see, what I've installed on this server is we've got the CF, the community framework, we've got the Zumbri admin tools, because they work very well. And then as you can see, I've added @Rostowmap. Now, if you're not sure about the spelling and you want to make sure the spelling is correct, make sure you go to the workshop, go down to where the Rostowmap is, just left click it so it appears, then you can right click copy, and you can just copy it from there, and then you could paste it in there. Now, between each of your mods there should be a semicolon, so a dot with a comma underneath. And what this additional mods line is doing is Nitrado adding that to the batch file, so that when the server starts, it starts with that mod enabled. Now, the next thing we need to do is on Nitrado, we need to stop the server, because what we're actually going to be doing, we want to save the changes and then we want to stop the server. And the reason why we want to do this is because we now need to go into the advanced settings, and in order to save things, you need to be able, expert settings, you need to have to stop the server. So if we go into expert settings on Nitrado, now this is the server dz.cfg or server dz.config file. You may well have access to this directly on your server provider, or if you're installing this map on a local server on your local PC, you'll have access to the server dz.config file. You're probably familiar with this anyway. So just scroll down through it, and what you're looking for is the template. There it is. As you can see, I've already changed mine already. Your one might say offline.chernarus plus, might say offline.enoch, might say something to do with the mouse, but we want to put offline.rostow. Now, if you're not sure of the spelling again, go back to the mod folder where Rostow is. Just go into it, go into the missions folder, and there it is, offline.rostow. So if we just left click it once, left click it again, right click, copy, and then we can go back to here, and then you can just paste that over the top. Now, what this server dz. What's it called again? What this server dz.config file is doing is it is telling the server, when you start with this mission template. So it's going to start with the Rostow mod and the Rostow mission template, and then we would save the changes, and then we would restart the server. Now, make sure that you tell all your survivors on your server the fact that you've changed the map, and they're going to need to go to the Steam Workshop and subscribe to the Rostowmap so that that's in their DayZ launcher. But that is it. We have now got a new map to explore in our DayZ private community servers. Nice and easy one. And kind of the technique we've gone through there, the steps we've gone through there, is pretty much how you install any of the maps on DayZ. What you've got to watch out for, however, is that in some cases when you look up maps in the Steam Workshop, the Stalker map, I think is a case and example. They don't always give you the files you need to install the map. So you might well see the Stalker map, think I'll have a go at installing that on my server. But when you actually download the mod, they might not give you, they don't give you the missions folders or something like that. So be careful about that. Sometimes you've got to go onto their own Discord, you've got to go onto their own website, and you've got to ask for permission. They will then give you the files which you can then download and install on your server to check it out. Right, so there we go, Rostow. Hopefully you found the video useful. If you have, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I will see you again soon.